Stacking our chips high, macking and we get fly. Stacking our chips.
Welcome back to another edition of Stacking Our Chips. This episode takes place in the wonderful city of Denver, Colorado. In this episode, we go to the Ameristar Casino. It's my first time to the property, and it will be a memorable one, and hopefully I can be back soon at some point. I had a great time. For the first time in a long time, I actually sit down in a 2-5 game. Sit down for 500, but I have one more bullet just in case I need it. I did message the great Brad Owen, and he let me know about the property, which is about an hour away from where we were staying, but on his good word, I made the trip, came up the mountain, public transportation, and I was a little scared, a little nervous, but I made it the way, and in the end, it was worth it. They had some great action. Before I get into the hands, let me just tell you, I'm at a restaurant called The Great Divide. It's in the airport. I'm a little early for my return flight back to New York, so I figured, let me give an account of what happened the other day. So I just made it here at the Ameristar Casino up in Black Hawk. On the good word of Brad Owen, he let me know if I was going to be in this area to come to this, if I want to play some cards. I'm on the wait list for 1-2 as well as 2-5 at Ameristar. So it looks like a pretty decent crowd for a Friday night, so going to see what happens. Got one of these things, and basically the next time it buzzes, I'll have a seat, either 1-2 or 2-5. In the first hand of note, we looked down at pocket jacks. We're sitting in the hijack position. I actually raised to 15, and I get 3 callers. The flop comes ace jack 10. I see bet to 25. I get 1 caller. The turn card blings to 5 of clubs, which brings out also the flush draw. I bet 60. Maybe I should have bet a little more. I get 1 caller in seat 1, and the river comes the ace of hearts. I lead out for 75. He calls. Maybe I should have bet more, but you know, it's my first hand. I'm just trying to see what's going on. We take down our first pot of the evening with a full house. We're glad to bring that in. In the next hand of note, we have Jack 9 of diamonds in the big blind. Under the gun +1 raises to 15. The small blind goes all in for short. She has 23, and we go 4 ways to a flop, which comes 9-8-3. I bet 25. Under the gun +1 calls. The turn brings the 9 of hearts. I bet 25. Under the gun +1 calls, and on the river is the queen of spades. I lead out for 25. He folds. I show I show my trips, and it's good enough, and the all-in player just mucks her hand, and then she quickly reloads. You'll see that player in particular brings a lot of action to the table, and I'll talk about it. In between the hands, I'm doing a lot of folding. I'm trying to get some action on record for you guys, but what ends up happening is the floor comes over and tells us that, we're not permitted to record. If we were big like, Brad Owen or Andrew Nemi, Jamie Burton, maybe we'd be allowed, if we had the juice like those guys, we'd be allowed to continue. But we shut it down. And so I'm just going to give you the hands like this. Hopefully you enjoy what I'm putting out there. In the next hand of note, we have black 8s. I just limp in. I'm looking to set mine, hit a set on the flop. We call the 15, and we go 4 ways to a flop, which comes jack 9-4. I check call a bet of 20 from the villain sitting in the hijack position. The turn card is a offsuit deuce. I check call 45. The river is the ace of hearts, and once again, I check call. I'm not sure what he's on. He could have anything. Just as long as it's not too much. I kind of just want to see what he has, see how the person plays. I plan to be at the table for a while, so I just want to get players' tendencies. So I make the call, and he turns over pocket queens, so we're going to lose that one. But I didn't know what else to do. Maybe I was behind, maybe I was ahead. I'm not sure. So I made the call. We lose that one. In this next hand, I'm playing H7 offsuit from the cutoff position. I limp in, and we go 5 ways to the flop, which comes 10-9 ace. I go ahead and I bet my straight draw $20, and I get 3 callers. The turn card is a doozy. We get there with the 6, and I bet 50. I get 1 caller, and on the river, it's a 5, a blank. And I bet 50. I have to say I have the best hand at this point. I don't want to price out callers with weak cards or draws. Maybe they think I'm bluffing. Um, the person in the in seat 3, actually seat 4, she makes the call and I show them my hand and we take it down. The next hand I have Ace Jack offsuit. I'm gonna bet 25. I get 2 callers. The flop comes King Queen 6. It checks through. On the turn, I hit my jack. I also have the straight draw, so I'm just kind of see where I'm at. Maybe I can get away with a bet. Maybe I should have bet more, but I just kind of see where I'm at by betting just 40. The villain raises to 140. There is a caller ahead of me, so with that information, I make the fold. On the river is an offsuit 3. Villain leads out for 65 and gets called, and table is a 10-9. So even though we lose the hand, I'm getting some valuable information from players and their tendency. Next, I have Ace King of Clubs in the cutoff. I'm calling a bet from the middle position player who raised to 30. We go 4 ways to a flop, which comes King 5-4. The villain bets 40, and I'm gonna call, thinking other people are gonna be in the hand, but it's just us two. The turn is at the 8 of spades. The villain checks. I bet 75 and he folds to my 75 bet, so we take that one down. At this point, we get some interesting news. We learned that you cannot go all in, like you cannot bet all in at this table, at this game. This casino just allows $100 raises and bets. You know, it's a strange thing. It's new to me, but I'm gonna see. I haven't, still to this day, it's 3 days later, I haven't decided whether or not I like it or not. In the next hand of note, we have Ace 8 in middle position, and we call a bet of 15. We go 3 ways to a flop, which comes 8, 8, 10 diamonds. We have 2 diamonds on the board. I'm check calling a bet of 40 from the hijack. The turn is a 2 of hearts. I check call 60, and the river comes to Jack of spades. I lead out for 100, and the hijack makes the call. So we're gonna take that one down, a nice sizable pot. I'm folding a lot, and the pots I do come in, I tend to take them down. There's a lot of hands I can't show you because it'll be too many, but I'm just being patient and playing my position. I'm not really coming in out of position and just being patient, and it's been working out. In the next hand, we have pocket jiggities. I make it 25 to go, and we get 2 callers, so we go 3 ways to a flop, which comes 8, Jack, 6. I'm in the hijack position, so I'm gonna check call a bet of 30. We get 1 other caller. The turn is the king of diamonds. I check, he bets 75, and I'm gonna go over the top and make it 175. The villain raises to 275, and I make the call. The river comes the 8 of clubs. I check call his bet of 100. We could have went for more, but I'm just, keeping it light, taking it easy. Maybe that's maybe that's wrong on my part, but that's what I do. I just call, I don't raise them, and we take that one down. At this point, I have about 1550 in my stack. I'm on the heater, and I'm feeling really good. In this next hand, we have black aces, and we're under the gun, so I don't want to make it too much to go and tip people off that I have a great hand. So the standard bet of the night has been $15 to $20. I'm gonna raise to 15. I actually get 5 callers, so maybe that was a misstep on my part. The flop comes king 10 queen, and the action checks to me. I bet 30 and I get 1 caller. The turn comes to 4 diamonds. I bet 100, and the villain in seat 8 raises to 200. I make the call, and the river brings us to the 3 of hearts. The villain bets 100, and I call, and what happens is the villain shows king 4. So we were ahead until the turn, and he turned 2 pair, and we lose a little bit. We actually lose a lot, but kind of stings a little bit to lose when you have aces, have your aces cracked. But we take it like a champ, and we move on to the next hand. And that's what poker is about, managing, how you react to not only the wins, but the losses. When you win, you scoop up the pot, gather the chips, and you just play a hand. You don't want to make players feel poorly. You never belittle anybody. You just keep it moving. And when we lose, take it on the chin. The shoe was on the other foot. You take it with class and that's what all about. That's what it's all about, being classy and keeping it moving. Um, it does sting a little bit. Can't deny the sting. And this last hand I'm going to mention, I have King 10 of diamonds in middle position, and it's a limp pot 3 ways. The flop comes 10, 9, 7. With top pair, I lead out 25, try to see where I'm at, and both players call. We go 3 ways to a turn, which comes to 2 of spades. It's the second spade on the board. C3 bets 60. I make the call, and C8 behind me makes the call as well. The river comes the king of spades, so the flush gets there. C8 bets 100. C3 makes the call, and then C5, which I'm sitting at, I'm gonna go ahead and fold. At this point, I'm gonna fold. I don't think I'm in good position at all. These guys are betting. The flush got there. There's a straight draw. I'm going to just get out the way, even though I do have top 2. Seat 8 tables, king 10 of clubs. So we actually had the same hand, both 2 pair. But seat 3 turns over jack 8 for flopping the straight. And we get out of there making an excellent read, and I'm pretty proud of myself. So although I've lost a little bit, I got my aces cracked. We still do pretty well on the session, and we're up about 1,000. So you gotta chalk that up to like a good birthday. The last birthday I did a vlog at Catskills and I did well, and here I am in Denver, and the birthday magic continues. So we're glad to take, our losses and get out of there and link up with our friends and continue the rest of the trip. If you enjoyed the content, please hit the like and subscribe button. You can also catch me on Instagram at SOCPoker_NY.